Hello, you lovely ones, lovely people. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad. And tonight's stream is one of my favorite, as you already probably know, for those of you who are following me, and that is going to be the understanding of the future. What do we need to know? Which tonight is going to include 2023. It's going to be a bit more broad of a forecast, a bit more broad of a prediction, if you will. And it will cover up what does, as a members of the star sign we are born under, we do need to know about the new year. What kind of a new year our star sign, more or less, is gonna have as affinities. And if you had paid attention to the thumbnail, just give me a second here. So if you had paid attention to the thumbnail, you would have saw three cards, which are as following. Now, the first one, which is the prime of the reading, that is the Six of Pentacles. Merry Christmas, News Devonin as well, Melda. Merry Christmas to you too. Hope you had a nice holidays, guys, and hope you have set yourself up for the New Year's Eve as best as you could. So Six of Pentacles, it's literally the first card. The second one, which catalyzes it from one side, that is a Seven of Wands. So I can't even begin to tell you how relieved I was when I saw that elemental dignity. Now, it's in its nature, this is a passive enemies, elemental dignity. And long story short, the affinity is going to be, according to these two cards at least, the affinity globally is going to be set off from the selfishness, right? And from the, I don't know how to exactly put it into English. I'm sure that there is a specific word for that. So I'll try to explain it. The affinity is going to be set off from the attitude, it is all about me, only my goal matters, right? Only my result matters. It only matters if I am rich and happy. The hell with my family, you know, the hell with my colleagues, the hell with my friends. It only matters if I am fulfilled. No, this affinity is going to be set off in a favor of more, we are happy as a family, we're happy as a team, right? We are happy as a society, as a friendship circle. And in generally, this elemental dignity literally seeds more goodness in people, and God knows we need that in 2023. And the other card, it's the King of Cups that we do have, that is sits from the other side of the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so this is the elemental dignity spread for the new year, for the 2023, and that specific elemental dignity, it is a passive friends, right? And that is the elemental dignity of the generosity. Now, but some people misinterpret King of Pentacles as a generosity and charity, right? It's just the year is going to be very charitable. And that was, I was about to say, that some people were misinterpreting King of Pentacles as a charitable individual, you know, someone who gives without concerning themselves for the return. That's not the King of Pentacles. They always have intentions when they give away, even if those intentions does not affect you directly. There is always a premeditation into what the King of Pentacles does when they're giving. King of Cups, on the other hand, are those who are, if they do decide to give something, that is for the sheer reason that you do deserve it, right? They don't seek anything from it, although if it comes, it's well welcomed. But that is not the main reason why. For example, King of Pentacles, it may help your business because he or she understands that by helping your business, that is going to knock off certain competitions of theirs. And because that competition is not yours, you do not see that they have return, and for you that's charity, but in reality it's not a charity. They have a lot to gain from it, just they're not going to gain it from you. So that is trivia, so to speak, about the cards. But year 2023 should be very, very different from year 2022 for what those cards are showing. And it is just we're going to be more, we're going to show the best we have when it comes to especially social interactions and how we address people from all the layers of the society. It wouldn't matter. And in generally, we should be open to, how can I put it into words, receive a wellness and goodness from the world, because it's coming our way. Now on a more specific level, 2023 should be quite dappled and saturated with offers that will come each other's way. You may get an offer for a new job, or you may get an offer for certain adventure, you know, or any kind of offer may come your way. And those offers are going to be additive, meaning that they're not going to take away from anything you currently have, and in the same time they are going to just add on top of the versatility of your life that you do have. So there will be literally no reason whatsoever for you to deny neither of them. And that is globally for the collective. I don't want to dive deeper into specifics, because as you can see, it's a broad interpretation, broad prediction, and it will start differentiate for different people. So the specifics are going to be within your star sign forecast, which is coming in a minute here. But before we get into it, a few notes about the show. So within this live stream, I'm going to read for the 12 star signs. I'm going to use what do you need to know spread. Well, that's a good way to name it. But in reality, it's an elemental dignity tarot spread. And it contains 3 cards, right? So I'm going to start from Aries, and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And throughout the procedure reading for the star signs, also three people of you are gonna have a free reading from me. You can claim it by asking a question into the comments down below once I do announce a break. And I usually give 5 minutes for people to ask their questions, and once those 5 minutes are over, I'm going to pick one and I'm going to perform a professional reading on the question itself. Other than that, if you do wish to have a personal reading yourself with me, you can always go to my website. Link of it you're going to find in the description down below. And at the very front page of the website, you will see full list of my services, their pricing as well. And based on your budget and your needs, I'm sure you're going to find something that is going to suit you best as a service. And finally, if you do decide to show your generosity and support the stream through Super Chat, you're going to have your reading at the end of the stream. That is guaranteed, okay? Because I believe that charity should go both ways. And if your Super Chat carries no inquiry with it whatsoever, the reading is going to be about the affinities of your 2023, or what your 2023 is going to be most, I don't know how to even put it into words, most affiliated with, let's put it that way. And should your Super Chat be $20 or above, the reading is going to be the elemental dignity spread that I just did for the collective, and that I'm going to do for each star sign. And Shanna, welcome to the stream. All right, so with that said, starting up first, we do have Aries. By the way, you can track your star sign by observing the glyph that it is right here on the right, on top of my right shoulder. So with that said, let's jump to Aries. All right, so the first card for Aries, that will be the King of Swords. Second card we do have, it is the Knights of Pentacles. And the third card, it is the Ace of Pentacles for 2023. That will be interesting here, right? Interesting here. So the emphasis for Aries is going to be how best, right? That will be the most asked question in your mind. How best I can do one thing or another. And going throughout 2023, there will be a huge revisit of your methods about addressing friends or about doing job, you know, or even if you do will as well about making love, not because you're doing it wrong, right? Here, how I can do best, it is with an incentive to maximize the results. Right. So if you do up until this point, you are able to make a very good opportunities for yourself. 2023 is going to be an opting to make a immaculate opportunities for yourself. If by that point you do have a really good experiences into your family or into your personal and relationship life, 2023 is going to be about you opting to expand on that, you know, to have an immaculate experiences, to have a peak of experiences, so to speak. The emphasis is going to be, though, more professionally oriented 2023. So within those cards, we can safely say that you have the affinity to sign for new qualifications, go through that course or another, start studying something or start acquiring a certain skill. You know, that is going to help you furthermore into growing into your career. 2023 as well for you, Aries, is going to be the year where you are going to give a birth to strategies, and these are a life coaching strategies, not just only a short-term ones, right? Strategies which are to be very effective, producing results and as well solving problems. So this is going to be one of a great year for you. Now, few issues. I can't really tell them issues, but inconveniences. First, it is the, how can I put it into words? First is going to be the realization of that no pain, no gain. It's true, right? So to reach those immaculate results, you actually have to go through a certain struggle and to face a few challenges, okay, to face a few disharmonious situations and few enemies as well. And the second say that you are going to realize is true for you, it is that, and that is a quote from a song of ABBA, right? For a big thing or for a small, the winner literally takes it all. So that's, especially if other people were involved, that's a war, right? And in war, as we all know, there are no rules. And there will be quite of a few instances throughout the year that you will have to actually resort to your ruthlessness in order to take the upper hand. Mattia, thank you so much for your 1999 US dollars. Thank you, Mattia. Make sure that you do stay by the end of the stream where you're going to have your 2023 tarot reading. Thank you. Right, so that was Aries. Now moving next, we do have Taurus. Good evening, Anna. Welcome to the stream. All right, for Taurus, first one, that is Five of Pentacles. Moving forward, this is going to be the Five of Cups. And the third one, that will be the Sun. All right. So here the collective reading has a little bit more influence, for example, than it had under Aries, right? And one of the things that you will realize in 2023, guys, as a Taurus, it is that it is not always about you, right? That doesn't necessarily have to be in a positive. It could be as well in a negative way. For example, let's say things go wrong. Right, that doesn't mean that it is all about you, meaning that you are not to be blamed entirely for what is going on. And you know, the same thing could be as well valid in when things go right in one or another way. And here the emphasis into this into the year is going to be you, can I put it into words, you realizing that for a big thing, or rather like for a big portion of the situations and the things that you are involved into, it all comes to that, what kind of a style you adopt to address those things. Are you playing on a big or on a big, or are you playing on a small? You know, are you adaptable or not adaptable? But above everything else, it will be about, are you forgiving or not? So what do I mean by that? Well, according to these cards, you're gonna have a huge problems 2023 if you dwell on, for the lack of a better word, for now I'm gonna use disadvantages, meaning that things doesn't go exactly the way you want and you start harp about it, you know, and you don't want to move forward unless it's exactly the way you want it. Then you are never going to move forward. So you got to learn at some point to say, okay, we did as best we could, right? It's not always about you. One more time. We did as best we could. I did as best I could. And it's time to just move on to the next thing, or move on to the next stage, or even change, if you will, change the way I address one thing or another. Because the emphasis, according to these cards, it's about a lifestyle you have, the lifestyle you have that wraps around everything you do. The lifestyle about your career, the lifestyle about your love life and how you do address that, identifying, right, your pros and cons into those lifestyles, changing what you can change and accepting what you cannot, right? And that way, if you do it right, you can expect that 2023 is going to be the year where you solve your biggest problems within your relationship, within your career, and as well friendships. But because we do have the Sun being next to the Five of Pentacles there, you got to know that no one does it by themselves. And there are going to be quite a few occasions where you will have to rely on other people, especially when it comes to monetary growth and happiness. It is just 2023, you are going to feel happier when you connect, right? When you share that happiness with someone else. Whether, if you will, that could be your child, right? You have some money to burn, and I guarantee you that if you do burn those money buying your child trinkets or video games or whatever, right, you will feel happier in 2023 than buying yourself a new dress or a new car or something like that. Right, so that was Taurus. Moving next, we have Gemini. Veronica, thank you so much for your 10 Canadian. Thank you, Veronica. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your tarot reading of what do you need to know for 2023. What affinities your year is going to have. that are personalized for you. Now that's an English speaking channel, so the French you use, guys, it's not like it is not appreciated, but at least makes me feel stupid, because I know that is a language I will never learn. It just sits beyond me. You know, I cannot even differentiate word for word from it. It's kind of like when French are speaking, it sounds like one homogeneous word, the whole thing they say. At least to me, that is. Jasmine, thank you so much for your 19.99 US dollars. Thank you, Jasmine. You as well are gonna have your personalized message for 2023 at the end of the stream. Yeah, I know. I know that it is hard. It is one of the oldest languages in Europe, and it is one of the most ancient languages in Europe. What I mean, it is that every language, you know, undergoes certain transformation to become more accustomed to, you know, the world we are living today. And for what I know, I don't know if that's really true or not, but for what I know, French kind of like maintained the form from about 16th century or 17th century, you know, and it never, the word is not exactly evolved, it evolved, it did not change. Okay. For example, if right now a Bulgarian from the 17th century speaks to me, I would not understand it. We do have a novel that we need to read in school, that it is written in a Bulgarian 100 years ago, and you barely understand what is written there. I mean, you can get the concept, all right, but half of the words you just don't know what they mean. However, French more or less maintains that, you know, that's equity, so to speak, of speaking. Anyway, Gemini. We do have the devil for Gemini first, followed by the page of swords second, and the third one for you, Gemini, that will be the Eight of Cups. Okay, well, that will be a very positively mind-setting year. That is, for a lack of a better word. So your affinities are going to be always to look for the brighter future. Okay. In fact, that will be very individual, right? But for the most part, 2023, I even could say that is going to be emotionally healing year. You will simply going to forget about the stuff that made you feel bad, made you cry, made you had a sleepless nights, you know, and even made you lose your sense and drive for life itself. That is going to start abating, and it's going to start losing its grip over your soul within the 2023. And the more you live within this year, according to these cards, the more you are going to start seeing the joy for life itself, and the more you are to start seeing that whatever you wish for yourself, whatever you do desire to build, you know, and to experience, you can do it. And for the bravest of you, you are gonna do it, because at the end of the day, You are your own restriction. That's what the card says. It is within here, right? Right within here. It says that you are your own restriction. Thinking, so to speak, outside of the box, but what I mean, it is outside of your box. You do have, for example, a box of your mind where all the things you want to do are stuffed into, and you're trying to think outside of the box, neglecting, all the things that you want to do. So it will be important within 2023 to be true to your yearnings, your wishes, and in generally what you desire for and what you are hungry of. So if you are hungry for wealth and money and riches, go forward and build career, and you are gonna do it flawlessly. If you are hungry for love and family warmth and so on and so forth, go forward and start building relationships, and you are to find what you seek. But it is important to stay true to the box of your wishes, that you have stuffed your wishes, your yearnings and your desires, because otherwise it will be a waste of time. It's just 2023 is going to be a year of waste. But long story short, for you, Gemini, it's going to be a year that you will simply going to see the bright of the future, or the brighter future that it is in front of you. One thing that I would, I'm going to say it because I have started, but usually that makes people be a bit reckless, is that you will have a humongous influence within 2023. In most of the cases, whatever you say goes. You are going to find a way to, if the circumstances are not quite right, you are to find a way to change those circumstances, to enforce your own circumstances on the situation. And you got to be quite careful with that, because at the end of the day, if you play God, you got to be God in one thing or another. What I mean here is that everything is going to carry on certain consequences, and if you cannot live with the consequences, it's better not to play with a fire, because with the fire, right? Because at the end of the day, you may end up being burned by it. All right, so that was Gemini. Now moving on, next we do have Cancer. Yeah, it's all over the news, by the way. A humongous storm that it is covering all of the North America. What they said over the news, it is that it is a storm cell that covers up from Vancouver, British Columbia to Texas. Oh, that's huge. That's the entire continent. Oh my God. But do you know what was the saddest thing? It is that there are people who died from a frostbite. I mean, what century do we live in? These are 100% homeless people, which is so sad. Are there no shelters for these people? I know that here in Bulgaria there are shelters when the conditions are so extreme. The municipality and the government, they do have shelters that open up, and they can basically host all these homeless people that are just seeking a shelter to survive. News Devon, thank you so much for your 449 British pounds. Thank you. You will have your message at the end of the stream. It is what you need to know for your 2023. Thank you. Yeah, all right, Pinter. I get it. It's not the government's fault. All right, so for Cancer, the Page of Wands, it is the first one, followed by the Ace of Swords, which is the second. And the final one, that will be the Page of the Five of Swords. Just give me a second to have a swing. Yeah, minus 35 at Celsius, that is a bit extreme. Minus 35 Celsius is how much? It's minus 6 Fahrenheit. I believe it's minus 6 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, so for Cancer, a few things that the year is gonna emphasize on. All right. Now, one of the things is that, and I know that because I study astrology, right? Right now, not very deep into still, but I know that Cancer is very family orientated. What I mean is that they do strive for family when it comes to relationship readings, and it's just Cancer. They need to share. How can I put it into words? Experiences with our people. And throughout the year, you're actually going to start understanding that you can do it yourself, right? I mean, you can handle being alone without being lonely, if that makes sense. Okay, and even more than that, you will come to understanding that it's better that way rather than being with the wrong person, so to speak. And that is written here within these couple of cards, right? The Page of Wands and the Ace of Swords. These are active friends as an elemental dignity. And even more than that, you are gonna emphasize on, how can I put it into words? On the more lonely you are, if you are, right? The more that you open up for more possibilities, for more opportunities, to a point where at some point you are going to be open for literally anything new that the universe can throw your way. And once you kind of like seize it, then you get to decide what you are going to do with it. For example, the universe throws a new person your way. First, you consolidate the contact with that individual, and then you get to decide, are they going to be your friend, your lover, your business partner, or just someone casual to chat about things, you know, that doesn't have too much of a consequences on your life in general. Now, the other elemental dignity, though, carries on a bit bigger importance here, and that is the Page of Wands with the Five of Swords. And this kind of like emphasizes on how far you can go with one thing or another. And throughout the 2023, I don't know if it is fortunate or unfortunate, but it seems that you are gonna place your brakes, right, for one thing or another in a bit of a more emergency frame. So what I mean is that there will be a bigger tolerance for you to decide, okay, enough, it's enough, and I'm not gonna press the issue anymore. So you will really gonna skate not exactly on the thin ice, all right, but you are gonna skate on the edge of the knife, so to speak. And it all shows here that you are gonna do it flawlessly. I mean, if you are to dance on the edge of the knife, the dance is gonna be an eloquent brilliancy, for the lack of a better word. Now, of course, everything carries on a, can I put it into words? There is no full happiness, as yesterday someone told me. And one of the issues that you're going to face throughout 2023 is that you will be more emotionally exposed than what you would like to be. What I mean is that, you know, people will be able to, when they interact with you, they will be able to press press the wound, for example, the emotional wound that you do have, or, you know, press the weak spot that you do have without them even knowing it more often than you would like to. And thus it will be a challenge for you in certain extenses, in certain instances, I'm sorry, to maintain your composure in one situation or another. And here your temper is to be tested, how quick you are to outburst and how quick you are to give to temper in general, how much you can maintain your composure. Those of you who can maintain it flawlessly, they are going to have the biggest rewards. Those of you who are losing it right away, well, you guys are to miss quite a few good opportunities throughout the year. So that was for Cancer, and now we are entering into the first break where one of you can have a free reading with me. And all that you gotta do to get the free reading, guys, is you just input a question now into the comments down below that you do wish me to read for with my tarot cards. I'm about to give you 5 minutes to do so, and after those 5 minutes I'm gonna pick one of the questions and perform a professional reading on it. Should you decide to support the stream through super chats, you're going to have a reading at the end of the stream, that's guaranteed. And should your super chat be $20 or more, the reading is going to be that very same 3-card spread I did for the star signs till now, and that I'm going to do it for the rest of the star signs throughout the live stream as well. Dance on the edge of the knife. Well, it's a parable here in Bulgaria. It's actually the edge of the razor, or the razor edge. Actually, tonight, Pisces Moonbeam is gonna pick the questions that I'm gonna give an answer. And actually, I think that should be fair from now on moving forward, so I'm not accused of being biased. Not that I have been accused up until this point, but, you know, it's a possibility, and I would wish to avoid it. Chandra, thank you so much for your $19.99 US. Thank you, Chandra. Make sure that you do stay by the end, where you're going to have your message for 2023 through the Elemental Dignity tarot spread. Thank you. Oh yeah, I always forget to, and I hate that I have to ask it really, but giving a like, it's helping the channel huge time, and it doesn't cost you anything, guys. So if you do enjoy what you see here, please smash that thumbs up. It helps us tremendously. Two minutes to input your questions, people, if you do wish to have a free reading right now. I do apologize for that. Hey, Star Lover. Welcome to the stream. All right, calling it Pisces Moonbeam. There are two questions. One is Cat's 13. The other one is Andrea's question. Which one do you wish me to read for? Bear in mind that those of both of those questions cannot be answered definitively. Because the first one, which Kat gave, marriage, it is for tarot at least, it's just a signature in the bottom of a sheet of paper. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever for the journey of your soul. Now, the second one, Andrea's question, it involves a decision making, right? Her decision making and the Sagittarius person that she is asking for decision making. And as we all know, tarot doesn't make decisions for anyone. So for both of the questions, the best that I can do with tarot is to tell you how likely that is. But is it gonna happen? Well, that depends on your choices, people. Okay, so Andrea it is then, right? And the question, Andrea's question is, I would love to know if if my Sagittarius and I will reunite. So let's have a look. All right, Andrea, those are your cards that we do have. That will be the King of Cups, the Fool, Nine of Swords, Page of Swords. Let me give you a time frame. But long story short, Andrea, you will be offered that from his behalf one way or another. And it all comes to you taking the offer, okay? Without having any demands on your behalf. That is what it's gonna take. Can you do it? Well, that is entirely up to you. And the offer should address you by the end of the summer next year. It's June, July, by the end of August next year. That is your answer. A couple of minutes and I am to move to the next 4 star signs, which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and after that, the star sign I wish you guys to kind of like cross your fingers about, Scorpio. Not that I'm selfish or anything, but it's just I am Scorpio, and you know, if you like me, you would have crossed you would cross your hands for it, or rather like your fingers for it, and why not your hands as well. You're welcome. All right, moving next. That will be Leo. Leo. I will have to kind of like set my mind into pronouncing this right. It's Leo, right? Not Leo. It's Leo. So we do have Leo. And the first card for Leo, that will be the Seven of Swords. Followed by the second card for Leo, which is the Lovers. And the third card for Leo, that will be the Nine of Wands. And I said in the collective that this isn't going to be a selfish year, but for Leo, it's a little bit that way. Okay. First and foremost, the emphasis on the year is going to be you situating and setting yourself up in an environment of harmony, meaning in environment the things are simply working for you one way or another. Environment that even if should there be any issues, problems and concerns there, they're solvable. And that's why it may look from the outside that it is a little bit more selfish. Your attitude, your standpoint, and in generally your drive moving forward, career-wise or relationship-wise. But the reality is, it is that actually what we'll be speaking there, it is your experience, guys. And through experience, it's kind of like you will be able to navigate yourself with subtlety throughout your situations, from a situation to a situation, being able to maximize it out. Right? And here it's the moment to try to tell you a little bit more about the Nine of Wands, because this card is criminally misinterpreted. Right? Let me find it. It's literally criminally misinterpreted. That is, I'm explaining that in the tarot classes, which by the way, I should consider opening up for the next year as well. But that is the Nine of Wands here. And what people say is that this is a person who went through a fight, right? A battered person. But the thing is that if you observe on the wrap around its head, it has no blood. And that is not a wraparound. That is not a bandage. It's a blindfold that he just lifted up. Now he sees. He sees the circumstances, all right? He sees the environment, he knows. And what he does, it is that he distributes, allocates assets the way he likes. And that is why he holds the last asset ready to place it. So what this means, it is that throughout the year, you will have the awareness, the experience, and the knowledge to exert a conscious redistributions of your assets, of your time, right? Of, if you will, of your efforts, and going through this experience, indulging, drinking from this experience, you get to set up the situations you are a part of in a way that it is most comfortable for you. And if that's selfish, guilty as charged. Right? Guilty as charged. That's that. And that way, it is just even in most disharmonious situations, you will be able to breed harmony in them. You're just gonna make them be harmonious for you. Now, because the Lovers, it's also interpreted as a kind of like, a true love kind of card and so on and so forth. If it happens that you fall in love in 2023, just so you know, the start is going to be rather difficult, because it's going to be like a tug of war. Everybody is going to pull into their own direction. It's going to fall to that, can you live with each other without trying to change one another? That is what it's going to come down to at the end of the day, just so you know. So with that said, that was for Leo. Now moving on next, we do have Virgo. Oh, you're welcome to Esme. I was about to say Sue, but Esme. All right, for Virgo, first one, that will be the Queen of Pentacles, followed by the Knights of Wands. And the final one, that will be the Six of Wands. Okay, so it's going to be a good year for Virgo, but a cautious one, that is, because the truth of the matter, according to these cards, it is that the year is not going to emphasize on results. And while results are not, you know, the acme of success for Virgo, while the experience is, right? Here, what will matter for you at the end of the day throughout the year, it is no matter the results, what do you see when you see yourself in the mirror? For example, if you make money, do you hate the way you made them, right? Or if you end up being making a family, right, or being in a relationship, do you hate yourself for the way you did it? Because, for example, you know, and that is just as old as humanity. It is that for the not for the most part, but there are quite a few occasions where one relationship is because another one got destroyed, and that usually happens through, you know, affair, cheating, etc. Okay, and if you are in such a situation, do you not hate yourself for what was for the consequences of thy actions, right? If you don't, that's great, but if you do, it's just the first thing that is going to happen is that you are not going to see that much of a potential in it, and second is that the rewards, you know, that peak of experience you were supposed to have when finally things wrapped around, it's not going to be as sweet as you wished it to be, you know, as you imagined it to be, as you anticipated. So the emphasis on the year for you, Virgo, is going to be about how you can maximize your current resources than seeking new while being open for new resources, should new resources being easy to acquire and being easy to implement, so to speak, within your current enterprises. And the other emphasis on the year, it is to do as much as you can by yourself, and when help is needed, you know, to use your credits of trust when it's going to be most effective and most efficient to do so. Your expectations for the year should be consolidation. If you play your cards right throughout the year, you can expect to have one very well defined, stable, solid ironclad, if you will, a domain within your love life and within your career as well. So that was Virgo. Now moving on, next we do have Libra. First one for Libra, that will be the King of Swords. Moving on, next we do have the Queen of Swords. And the final one that's going, my God, it is the Knight of Swords. What are you doing? What are you doing? Wow, that's going to be one of a efficient year for Virgo. For Libra, I'm sorry. So that is the elemental dignity that we do have. The Court of Swords. The only one missing here is the page, and that is because we don't have a 4-card spread. Is it the page, the next one? No, it is the 4 of Pentacles, but that's irrelevant, at least for now. So, let's just set aside what the year is not good for. According to these cards, the year is not good for a deeply committed relationship. Relationships. According to these cards, the emphasis on why people will want to be with you, it's your physique, right? They will just gonna fall in love with your body, your physique, your how can I put it into words, your attitude, the way you look, the way you act, and so on and so forth. And at least for the start, there won't be much emotional attraction. It's gonna be more of a sexual attraction, just according to these cards. The other thing that these cards are not good for, or rather like are showing that it is not good for, is compassion. It is going to be very difficult for you to show compassion, especially when that compassion leads to nowhere. Because according to these three cards, guys, your strive in 2023 is going to be you being effective, being efficient, being productive, and above everything else is going to be the strive for power. So 2023, if you do play your cards right, you are going to end up being a person with a humongous influence and power in the place you set yourself into. Place at work, family, amongst your friends, and so on and so forth. So how this is to be acquired? Well, first and foremost, you simply, whenever there is a challenge, okay, to be solved, you are always going to find your way, even if you have to break the wall down. In fact, that will be the preferred way for you for one or another reason in 2023. Rather than being diplomatic, rather than being, how can I put it into words, gentle, if you will, you are just going to break things through. Because it will be more efficient at some point. Now, where you truly don't gonna shine, it is the sophisticated issues where almost no one can see a way through. Well, guess who is gonna be seeked for it? Your Majesty, Libra. That is because through careful analysis throughout 2023, you will always gonna be able to forge a strategy that's simply gonna give a way through difficulties to one person or another. So don't be surprised if you are assigned to be a counselor to, for example, your supervisor, or even why not your boss, to be the counselor of the team, your beloved one always to counsel with you about one thing or another. Just don't be surprised about that, because people are simply going to see it's not even your wisdom, it's your cleverness. You are going to be your trait of being clever is gonna be on steroids. It's like there will be no tomorrow for it, okay? It's like there is no tomorrow. I don't know even how to explain it. It will be unbelievable. Just the ways you will be able to figure out exploits and so on. And God help those which are standing against Libra that have nefarious intentions. It's just those cards combined with nefarious intentions. We're talking about a worldwide scams, like for example the last one that happened, FTX. People lost billions. Cryptocurrency. Then there was a one period of time here in the stream, many of the free readings were, should I invest in crypto? No, it's an empty thing. That's at least my opinion. And the last huge scandal in crypto, where one of the biggest, the second biggest crypto exchange happened to be a freaking Ponzi scheme. And people lost billions. I think it's 50 something billions. It's a staggering amount of money. Okay, that's besides the point though, what we do have here. So yeah, if you are to have nefarious intentions as Libra, you may be able to go far further than your initial anticipations, just so you know. Right, so that was Libra. Now moving on, next we do have Scorpio. First one for Scorpio, that will be the Knight of Cups. And it is the Ten of Pentacles. It's the well, that's gonna be a yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Was about time, wasn't it? Was about time, Mattia, wasn't it? So that's the elemental dignity. I'm a bit excited, so I'm gonna take a swing, okay, of the coffee. Hello, Lisa. Welcome to the stream. Ooh. Right. So those three. We do have a double passive friends elemental dignity, which means this is here that, long story short here, good things are gonna happen and they will be for life. What do I mean under good things? Well, it may sound a little bit of an exaggeration, but the wishes that you worked for, they are happening. They are happening. Your investments returned. That's with interest. Not just only one time. It could be they are to be returning for the rest of your life, for the rest of our life. I am so proud to be a number of that. But what those cards here are showing for us, Scorpio, and what do we need to know for 2023? It is that finally the sun is gonna shine on our street, right? He's gonna break through the thick curtains which are hanging on our windows, and is going to illuminate our room. Is going to illuminate our life for its entire part. So it's not just only that our efforts are going to pretty much form and create what we wished to be created by them. For example, if you put an effort never to be different, right, never to change, you put an effort to be yourself, believing that one day someone is gonna show up that is gonna love you exactly for who you are. That's an effort, right, that you are putting, not to play by the current understanding of what should be the perfect man or a woman. It's coming 2023, right? You put an effort to learn something with an intention to make it a business, but it's happening 2023. You put an effort to make your family strong and solid, and happy. It's happening 2023. Another thing about Scorpio is that 2023 is going to be the year where you will cut off a huge burden of dependencies. So if you have loans that you are struggling to repay right now, mortgages, right, or simply you are attached with strings to certain people and you can't lash yourself off it, it is happening 2023 as well. 2023 is going to be a year that you are going to feel yourself most free that you have felt ever in your life, at least according to these cards. And that doesn't mean that you have to break your relationship for it. That's the beauty of it. If you do have one, it's just you're going to be free in it. Okay, while you enjoy being with your beloved one, you will feel free in it. But also, if you have, like I said, a noxious interactions with one person or another that are stifling you, restricting you, you will free yourself from that in 2023, as even other dependencies. And finally, for Scorpio, 2023 also is going to be a year, according to these cards, for the word is not exactly reconciliations, it's more like a catching up with, okay, people that had a huge play in your past, you know, in your life from your teenage years, high school sweethearts, high school boyfriends, girlfriends, etc., etc., or just a very, very good friends that you lost in touch with. 2023 is going to be a year that you are just going to accidentally, all right, accidentally bump into one another, and it's just incentive to catch up and to be a part of each other's life. It's going to be there. How are you going to do it though? Well, that depends on you and your decision. Right, so that was for Scorpio. Really exciting year for us, eh? I think that we actually are the winner here, unless Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces doesn't trump this this forecast. So the second free reading now, guys. One of you can have a free reading with me, and all that you gotta do is to input a question into the comments down below, and after 5 minutes, Pisces Moonbeam is gonna be so kind to pick one of your questions, which I'm going to perform a professional reading on using a full spread tarot cards. And for any of you who decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you are going to have your reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And if you do like what you see here, what you hear, if you do like my style, if you do like the channel, just please give a like, because it doesn't cost you anything and support us tremendously. It's a huge help for us. Thank you, Mattia. I guess I'm about to see what's going to be the biggest event for me 2023. By the look of those cards, you are about to marry me for someone. And for Pisces Moonbeam, thank you, Mattia. So let me just put ourselves into the stream, into the list. I'm sorry. So Pisces Moonbeam, I assume I know the question. All right, you got it. You got it. Thank you, Mattia. But your generosity throughout the year was more than enough. Thank you. Anna, thank you so much for your $20 US support. Thank you, Anna. Minute and a half, guys, to input your questions if you do want to have a free reading. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. A rare quality those days. And I am so happy that each one of you guys in my auditory here, although not as big as many other, tarot creators or astrology creators, you are all like that, which is something I value most. But because what I do prefer is to have 30 people watching me, which are nice people, right? People who stand for what they say, stand for their word, and stand for their character. And to have 1,000 viewers, that most of them are, those kind of people that think that it is never their fault and they have literally nothing to learn from life, right? And they are in a bad spot because life is unfair. Well, that is one of the first lessons in life, that life doesn't hold your hand. It's unfair, and it is what you win in this life. Right, so there is only one question here, and it is, what kind of a tools should I use for my manuscript? S. May, what do you mean under tools? What does this mean? I mean tools like physical tools. What do you mean? Because that is me making choices for you, and I cannot make that choice for you. Thank you, Esme. Hey, Tammy, Merry Christmas. Well, yeah, Esme, what do you mean under the tools that you asked about? Oh, okay. All right. That makes more sense now. For the prospect of tarot, that is. Hmm. Better late than never. Better late than never. Well, it's a bit more, according to these cards, it's a bit more complicated than just simply success or rejection. It will be a half of both. Now, those are the cards, Esme. So, it will be something of the sort. Is good, but, right? So, according to the cards, your manuscript, it will be up for revisitation, right? It's gonna have a revision of it, and certain things will be recommended, and that is for mildly said. It will be a recommendation, but it will be more like a demand to be changed. So it will be a success. It's because it's going to be acceptable, but it's going to be a rejection because it's not going to be accepted as it is, right? And that is how, at least according to these cards, how you should set yourself into. And that is overall interpretation, meaning that you may not face that answer at the first place you present your manuscript. It could be at the second. It could be the overall, attitude toward the manuscript. But the manuscript, if you push for it, the manuscript can be published, and it will be published. It's just, like I said, there will be a revision over it that you may not like. But definitely the time had came your manuscript to see the world, right? To see the big wide world. Yes, mate. Right, so that was the free reading here, and a couple of minutes, guys. Then moving on to the last 4 star signs, which are to be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Then the last free reading is going to take place, and after that the super chat readings, where I'm going to see the most important event that is going to happen to me in 2023. Hopefully it's going to be something good. Who knows? You're welcome, Esme. You're more than welcome. So guys, have you already planned your New Year's Eve? Because I'm about to spend it like Macaulay Culkin, being home alone. Which is, as usual, life as usual. In fact, when I roll back the tape, it was about only a couple of years where I was not home alone. But I'm not lonely by any means. In fact, I do think I prefer it that way. Oh my dear, thank you so much. But the live stream probably is going to be the day after the New Year. There will be one now in Thursday, and then the New Year is Saturday Eve. The live stream is going to be probably Sunday Eve, Monday Eve, something like that. you nailed it. Okay, that was the last nail in the coffin here. Yes, mate. Oh, that's a good idea, Tammy. However, here in my country, the very least, it's full everywhere. I mean, you literally cannot go anywhere in New Year's Eve unless you do not booked about few weeks prior to it. It's gonna be Monday here. Pisces Moonbeam said it. It's gonna be Monday. Oh, Susie, welcome to the stream, girl. Well, it seems that everyone has its plan, so I'm happy for you guys. But let me have a swing of water, and then moving for the last 4 star signs. And it's Pisces Moonbeam's birthday, by the way. How lucky you have to be born at 31st of December. I don't know if that's luck, because when you were a child, Pisces Moonbeam, probably that was you didn't consider yourself lucky, because probably your parents kind of like bailed themselves out with just only one present. Here is your present for your birthday and your New Year, and it's like, are you kidding me? I mean, my friends are getting 2 presents, one for their birthday and one for their New Year, right? but not me, because you know the celebrations kind of like overlap with one another. At least I had a few friends like that, and they were very, very dissatisfied. They were not happy about the fact. Oh, so now it's the Santa's fault. I get it. Yeah, Shakti, it sucks, isn't it? But it's a good thing happened to you, because you know it sucks, and now you get to kind of like make your daughter happier than you were. If you look at it from that side, it's actually a good lesson, and not just only a good lesson. It's just, you know, you sacrificed involuntarily from your happiness to make something more valuable for you happier, which I think it's more than a fair trade. All right, moving next, that will be Sagittarius. First one for Sagittarius, that will be the Four of Wands, followed by the second card, which stands for the Hierophant. And the third card for Sagittarius, that is to be the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so these are your three cards, guys. These are your three cards. And the emphasis for Sagittarius of 2023, it's going to be how you can be more efficient and get better results by incorporating out of the box assets, which could be actions, you know, it could be also knowledge. And I don't know why this is coming up for Sagittarius, because that's exactly who you are as a star sign, by the way, or for what I learned, the very least. I mean, you are very innovative. You are willing to explore, for the lack of better words, if not anything else. But it's coming up here into the reading. And by having that attitude, at least according to these cards, you're going to be able to pick up on things that eluded many more people. So that pretty much is going to make you more special for the place you are working at. Is going to make you more special within your social circle and as well within your family, for example. Okay, your significant one, your spouse, will grow to understand that no matter what, they're never going to find someone like you, right? They may find someone good, but it's even if you will better than you are in one or another thing, but it just is not going to be you. It's not going to be like you. You are going to be special. You are going to make yourself special throughout 2023. So expectations. Well, you can expect 2023 to be quite of a successful year for you, Sagittarius. You will be able to finalize a lot of cycles of development. That is, for example, if you are about to graduate, according to these cards, you will be able to do so with resounding success, right? If you do plan to transcend your business or to transcend your love life, and we're talking about transcension, we're not talking about wrapping up stuff and not having to deal with them anymore for the rest of your life, right? So these transcensions, again, resounding success. And in generally your toils, literally toils, we're not even talking about a working for something, it's about toiling, it's about giving an extreme effort into one thing or another. They will pay themselves off, and finally you are about to start reaching the desired results, the desired goal, and in generally the desired transition stepping stone that you can just jump into the next level. It will be a bit more though single player year, for the lack of better words. Not because you ain't gonna have any people around you, but because it's kind of like at the end of the day, it's always gonna come up to what you can do about yourself, what you can do for yourself, what you can do based on your own personal abilities. If you prefer, you can look at it that way. If you want to do things the best way, you gotta do them yourself in 2023. And finally, that is on the more unpleasant side. You will be a bit more suspicious, which I guess it's a good quality, you know, taking things always with a grain of salt here. And it is just your credit of trust is gonna have a high bar of a threshold to be given to one person or another, which is not a great quality of making friends. And that's why throughout 2023, while, you know, in the term of results and progress and growth is going to be a great year, in terms of a social interactions is going to be a bit more arid, a bit more kind of like hollow, or rather, if you will, a shallow. And one advice of the cards, especially when it comes to business, focus on the money. Okay, according to these cards, you worked enough for your name, and now it's time your name to start making you money. Right, so that was Sagittarius. Now moving on, we do have Capricorn. All right, first card for you, Capricorn, Eight of Swords. Then will be the Queen of Cups. And the final card, that will be the Sun. So it's a pretty simple message. And the emphasis of your year, it will be how to make yourself happy. All right. What do you mean? What do I mean by that? It's about the stereotypes. I don't know even how to explain it. Let me put it that way. Okay. So everybody has the acceptable and the unacceptable. I want to involve thyself into, right? Well, in a strive for happiness in 2023, the unacceptable will become acceptable for you. And what that is going to make you, or rather like is going to make for you, it's literally going to open up a ways for a natural growth, natural development. Especially when it comes to human interactions. And by the way, according to these cards, should you have a, how can I put it into words, a volatile, for the lack of better words, a volatile relationship. It doesn't have to be just only intimate, but the intimate one also is it is within that number. You can expect the 2023 to be the year where the swords are gonna turn into plowshares, like the great Jackson sung in the song Heal the World, which is one of my favorites, by the way. And I hope that the world is going to be healed in 2023. And if that's so, you're going to have a big finger into that, Capricorn. Anyway, so yeah, the hatchets of war are going to be buried, right, in favor of you making each other happy. And that is going to be one of the unthinkable things that you will see and realize that you have to do. That all that you gotta do is make the other person happy, and you are gonna be happy. And you are gonna make the other person, or you're gonna make them see that that's the way. And they're gonna start making you happy, and it's just you're gonna make each other happy, and you are gonna be happy. It's that simple. Also, it's gonna be a good year for you making money. And in fact, I'm not gonna be surprised because Pisces Moonbeam is a Capricorn, for her to start working something new or open up some kind of a new business here, a business or a new thing that up until this point for her was unthinkable. And that's not just only about her, it's about every single one of you guys. It's just, this is about finding a new ways of making money that by that point you haven't even thought about those new ways. The year though is going to be a bit more callous, okay, in a sense of that the stuff that by that point kind of made you emotionally touchy, for a lack of a better word, it made you emotionally exposed. That's not going to be the case. But also what this is going to carry on as a consequence, it is that you will not going to be able to tap deeply into your emotions. And if you want to give the biggest love you're capable of overall, it's just that's not going to be the year where you can expose it. You know, that's not going to be the year where you can truly give it to the one you want to give it for one or another reason. And finally, throughout the year, you will have quite a few chances to clear out misunderstandings, and I'm talking about a big misunderstandings. Now, it doesn't have to be the case, it's just an example, but say if your family thinks that you are a fraud about something, or you are a failure or anything like that, you know, you will have quite a few chances to prove them wrong. Or for example, you know, if your wife or a husband have you for a cheater, have you for an unfaithful individual, you know, you will have your quite a few chances to prove them wrong, and so on and so forth. Do we experiencing gas shortage? No, we don't. Bulgaria solved the gas situation midsummer for our region, that is. I don't know about the rest of the Europe. I know that UK actually have quite of a few issues, but UK is not part of European Union anymore. But UK have quite a few issues with gas and also with electricity. My brother lives there, and I know that a couple of months ago they were about to be on a verge to end up having no electricity powering up London. It's crazy. Right, so that was Capricorn. Moving next, we do have Aquarius. But Bulgaria, it's the country in Europe, not just only in Europe, in the European Union, but in Europe, that it is less gas reliant. I think that only the industry relies on gas in quite a few homeholds. Okay, it's just we heat ourselves on electricity, air conditioners primarily. It's just more convenient because here the amplitude it's huge. Right, the summer it's really hot, and the winter it's rather cold. So it only makes sense to find a way that one device, so to speak, to heat your home, and in the same time to cool it down. And the most efficient way is the air conditioner, because the central heating, it's just only provide warmth in winter, and you have to install air conditioner anyway if you do want to have a comfortable living environment throughout the summer, because summers are very, very hot. I mean, it's at some point is unbearable. And we don't have that big of an industry here in Bulgaria, so we're not that much of a gas reliant, if that makes sense. Like, for example, Germany, where I think 80% of the households are gas reliant, they're gas supplied, their heat comes from gas, you know, their electricity comes from gas, everything comes from gas. Price of the fuel, it's high, by the way. Price of the fuel here, it's like $1.50 for a liter. So for a gallon is going to be about $5-6, something like this, because 1 gallon is 3.5 or 3.7 liters. So yeah, it's high compared to the payments, to the salaries we get. It's quite high for gas and for diesel, but the electricity is rather cheap. Right, so Aquarius, we have the Empress, followed by the Eight of Wands, and the final one, that's going to be, yeah, but I'm talking about US dollars. You are probably mentioning Canadian, and that is about 1 Canadian less than yeah, that is 1 Canadian less than what is the price here. But the thing it is that here we're supplying our oil reserves from Russia, because there is no other supplier. It's just there is no infrastructure to get the oil from Saudi Arabia or from Egypt or anything like that. The only infrastructure is with Russia. While Canada, it has its oil supplies from, I think it's diversified, you know, from United States and from many other places. So you get to have a more, can I put it into words, more efficient way to put a prices, while for us it's one price and that's that. I mean, you don't have much of a choice. Whichever gas station you go, the price is the same. And it's not because of the cartel, because there is no cartel. It's just it's one supplier. It sells you the petrol on that price, and that's that. So there is a monopoly on the supplier. That's the problem here. This is why the price is high in Bulgaria for gas, for a petrol, and consequently the products from it. Back to Aquarius. So again, those are cards. We do have the Empress with the Eight of Wands and the Strength card for you, Aquarius. And the year will be a strive for making the right thing. Okay. Well, no, I haven't. I did not start it right here. It is about making the right thing, but the year is going to be like a pivotal point. Okay, it's going to be like a fulcrum for you to jump in the distant future. It's like a space jump. I don't know how to put it into words. So the decisions that you are going to make throughout 2023, for the most part, the actions, the plans, especially the plans, will reflect the distant future. 5 years from now, 7, 10 years from now, right? For example, if you do decide to get married for the girlfriend or the boyfriend you are living with, that decision is going to be directed toward the distant future. You're going to make that decision with a premise that that's the person you're going to spend your life with. Okay, that's not just something you're doing lightly for the shits and giggles, right? For just the idea of it. You will have a real intentions behind it. Same thing about career choices and so on and so forth. So throughout 2023, Aquarius, it's just you taking on options available. It will be a very wise process that you are going to go under, and you are going to give yourself, or you're going to have at least the option to do so. You're going to give yourself as much time as you need to make a comfortable choice or to make a comfortable act. So if you're not feeling comfortable, nothing in this world will make you feel pressured to make a move or to make a choice throughout 2023. Now, if you do play your cards right, you should set yourself for a very long ride, a very long, comfortable ride, where you will simply going to be quite fond and satisfied from what that ride brings to you as a result and as a fruits of your labor. The more unpleasant side of 2023, it will be that a couple of things. First one is that it's going to be a bit more difficult for you in some of situations, in some of your enterprises, to maintain composure, for a lack of better word. Another thing is going to be that throughout 2023, it's just there will be the incentive to seek approval, which is something I don't like to see because I'm rising Aquarius. I don't know what's going to make me that. Usually I do not seek approval. I do as I please, and the only thing that can make me stop doing something, that it is making me stop doing something, is the law, right? And if someone is not the law, they don't get to tell me anything, right? They don't get to tell me what I get to do. I do as I please, no matter what, unless the law says otherwise. But that's not going to be how it goes 2023. It's just we are going to have the need to seek approval for our actions from one individual or from an organization, or it just is going to be something complex there. So I don't know how it's going to play out, but it is how it stands with the cards. Do I drive? I can drive. I don't have a car though. I sold mine because I just didn't need it. It was parked for a year and 7 months, and I did not use it for that long time. So I sold it, and I never had the need to buy a new one. It's just, I don't travel. I don't need to go anywhere, right? I live in the downtown of the capital, and I have everything around me. So I literally don't need a car. I need a grocery store. It's literally 3 minutes walk. I need a pub. It's literally 3 minutes walk. Everything is on 3 minutes walk from me. So I just don't need one. All right, finally, we do have Pisces. But I can drive. And I don't know if that stands for something. I do drive sticks. I know that that's the bane for most Americans. You just don't drive sticks, guys. I don't know why. Driving sticks is so much safer and so much pleasant than going forward with automatic. Taco, thank you so much for your 2023 US dollars. Thank you, Taco. And if I get to choose automatic or a stick all day long. The only way to choose automatic is if I am to drive in traffic all the time. And even then, I would prefer a stick because it's gonna save fuel. and it's gonna save big time fuel. So Taco, you're gonna have your message for the 2023 at the end of the stream. Make sure that you do stay around. You learned it? Yeah. Well, here in Bulgaria, this is how you have your exam. I mean, you cannot have your exam on automatic. You gotta have it on a stick shift. That's that. Okay? Because for, I don't know, for our authorities, if you don't know how to drive sticks, then you don't know how to drive a car. And it kind of makes sense because when you drive automatic, a computer controls the engine. When you drive stick, you control the engine. And with stick, if you know how to drive, you do not have to touch the brakes at all. You can stop with the engine whenever you need. Because, for example, with automatic, if your brakes kind of gave up, and for example, they break, and you are driving with a high speed, this car becomes a flying coffin, and you just die eventually. And that was we had few cases like that. While with a stick, you are gonna break the engine, but you are gonna stop. So if you want to have a driving license here, I don't know if that changed, but 15 years ago, you want to have a driving license here, the exam is a stick shift. I mean, you drive 45 minutes in intense traffic and alleys, right? Using stick shift car. All right, Pisces, 6 of Wands, followed by the 5 of Cups. And the final one, that will be the 4 of Wands. And it's a tie, by the way, in between which one is going to be a best year, Scorpio or Pisces. One of the two. Because for what those cards are showing for Pisces, this is going to be a year where just you are going to be buried under a mountain of rewards, right? Just, I don't know how to explain it, but the acquisitions, all right, and the peak of experiences and the recognitions, they're gonna start coming one after another, and at some point you're just gonna be indifferent about them because everybody is gonna pat you on your shoulder saying good job, man, or thank God having you in my life. Where was I gonna be if it weren't you? And all these kind of stuff being said to you, and you're just gonna feel amazing throughout 2023, and that will gonna be the emphasis on that, you know, the recognition that you do deserve your rewards and that your rewards should be given going forward, which by the way is gonna play a huge role for those of you Pisces who are thinking yourself being underappreciated at that current stage, and that is a huge pain for you. That pain is to be healed 2023, and that is the emphasis. By the way, if you are on a dry regarding sex, well, 2023, suddenly you're going to find yourself swimming in ocean of sweet water, and you get to drink from it for as much as you want. So your sex life is going to intensify, or you are going to have an emphasis to intensify your sex life. It's up to you to decide do you want to do it or not. Okay. And in generally, it's 2023 is going to be a year where it's just, like I said, you will not just only going to feel being appreciated as much as you deserve, and that's, you know, you finally get the rewards you deserve, but it's also going to be a year where you will going to start thinking bigger than what you are thinking right now, in all of its forms, really, in all of the areas of your life. Yeah, it does save gas. So that's what Pisces. Now the last free reading is going to take place. If you do want to have a free reading with me, you can have it right now by inputting the question you want me to read for with my tarot cards. And after about 5 minutes, Pisces Moonbeam is going to pick a question, should there are any, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Yeah, it does save gas. It does save about, depending on how you drive the stick, it could save a lot. For example, with my car, I was burning 4.5 liters, right? 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers when I was driving it. But 1 week I gave my car to a friend of mine, and he burned 9 liters per 100 kilometers. So he was actually forcing the engine. That is something you can do with stick shift. Do you know how it happens? Well, you cannot do it in an automatic. But for example, if you are driving on the fourth gear, or let's say the fifth gear, right, and you do have a car in front of you, you can simply, while you do have the rotations per minute on your engine being high, you just take a shift down from fifth to fourth, and the car accelerates. It glues you to the seat. It's like, it accelerates for a short amount of time, but it kind of like, it puts so much stress on the engine that there is no tomorrow. And it's just, people prefer to drive it that way, and I don't really understand it. Yeah, it gives you the thrill of a high speed, of a high acceleration, but it destroys the engine of the car, and the car starts burning gas at, 3-4 times over its limit, over what is written in actually the papers of the car itself. And you can't do that with automatic. I think that the today's models, they do have a sport regime that does it, but not exactly, because again, you don't have control. It has restrictions. While if, for example, from the fifth you take one down, to the fourth, and then you do take one more down to the third, it's just you're gonna burst the engine, but the car is gonna fly for at least 20 to 30 seconds. Yeah, it does damages more. But you can do it, for example, you are trying to bypass a truck, okay, and you do see that there is a car in front of you, and it's gonna hit you if you do not kind of like pass the truck that you're trying to bypass fast. Then you can do it. You can take down a shift, and the car is going to accelerate like twice as fast. If you take down another shift, 3 times, 4 times as fast, and you can do it, you can do it for a 5 or 6 seconds, but not more than that, because the card starts to roar and it starts to vibrate, and eventually the engine ignites itself and bursts. And by the way, why do you think the sport cars, Formula and Rally and all these, they are with stick shift? It is because it's better. It's you get to reach the maximum, the full potential of the car. You control it. While with automatic, the company that makes it controls it through a computer in it. You just, you accelerate with the gas and that's that. Nothing more. It's like a video game. Whatever parameters they put into the computer, that's it. You don't get to use fully what you purchased. That's my opinion, at least. Is it more comfortable? In a high traffic, it is. I give it that. But the maintenance, it's twice as expensive, because in the stick shift, okay, you have to change the oil in the transmission maybe once or twice for the whole time of the car's lifespan. While in the automatic transmission, every 20,000 kilometers runway, you have to change it, because literally the oil in the transmission, it's a component. It's a driving component of the transmission, while the oil in the stick shift transmission, it makes, changing shifts more comfortably. Like, it's easily changing shifts, but it's not that essential. You can definitely drive without oil in the stick shift. Yeah. Hello, Anna. All right, so Jasmine, will I have an opportunity to make a a successful career change in 2023? Let's check it out, Jasmine. All right, Jasmine, those are the cards. And because we have the moon on the prime here, literally when the moon is on the prime, it says that you are not supposed to know the answer. Okay? Because pretty much, let's put it that way, the universe has a plan for you in regards to your question, and you're not supposed to know it, because you will change it and you're not supposed to change it. But what I can definitely tell you, Jasmine, it is that you are set for a huge leap into career development, but it's possible to be with your current career narrative instead of changing it. So I cannot answer it. I cannot answer that question. I can lie to you if you will, but I don't want to, okay? But definitely there is going to be a leap into huge development for you career-wise in 2023. That is literally the answer. I hope it satisfies. All right, so that was the free reading, and now the super chat readings are gonna take place. So mine goes first, and let's see the most important event for me that is gonna happen in 2023. Pisces Moonbeam, you can mute the sound because you know what I'm gonna use. Those are my cards. Here. And it seems that I'm gonna be in trouble. Because according to them, I'm about to fall in love. It's according to them, though. I don't know if that's gonna happen. It will. But funny thing, they don't show what into. So it may not be in a person. It could be I may fall in love in some kind of an activity. It could be about certain addiction. So this is what actually scares me about those cards. I'm gonna fall in love with something here, which is gonna be it's gonna be simultaneously a beautiful thing, and in the same time, it's going to be attaching, for the lack of a better word. I bet the Pisces Moonbeam would love me to fall in love with, hey, I may fall in love with my problems, guys. And maybe they're gonna leave me too. You know what I mean? Oh, just give me a moment. But what I was about to say is the Pisces Moonbeam would love me to fall in love with my job. Yeah, the meme. I may fall in love with my problems. I knew it. I just knew that was the first thing that crossed my mind. You know, when I did not saw a person within the Lenormand. It could be also a person though, but it isn't specified, meaning that I may fall in love with more than one person, for example, or it's a person that right now I do not have any emotions toward, but I may develop. Who knows? Okay, that is one of the instances when Lenormand are how can I put it into words? They're showing the event that I'm gonna fall in love, but they're not disclosing how, what into, when, where, and all these kind of stuff. Which is, by the way, their trend. You get to know the event, but you don't get to understand it, and that way you have no power. Literally, you can't change anything. Yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong, I love my job. I mean, I love doing live streams and reading tarot cards. What I don't love, it's making videos. It's so awkward, and it's just I can't. It's so difficult me bringing myself to do it because it's soulless. Okay, it's soulless. It makes the most money, but it's soulless, and I don't know. I need to find a way of making videos and having fun doing it. That's the problem. Liking it. I don't like it. And when I don't like it, I don't do it well. The content sucks, you know, it makes you no favor whatsoever. So if I do it without liking it, it's a cash grab. And I don't want to do it if it's going to be a cash grab. What do you mean voiceovers? Well, it's the same thing. In fact, it's twice the work. I mean, first I record a video showing the cards, and then I do voice over it. It's literally the same thing. Learn to like it, yeah. All right, you are laughing, Pisces Moonbeam, but now comes your question. I don't understand that. What do you mean to voice over someone else's voice? That's your card, Pisces Moonbeam. 10 of Cups. So in regards to your question, it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a happy year. It should be a year definitely where you're going to have far less issues and far less concerns and far less problems, by the way. In regards to the question that you gave me, is going to be a year where you will regain the hope you once had in it. That is as much as I'm going to say. News Devon, your year. We do have the Queen of Cups for you. Okay. So the year is going to emphasize mostly upon where you are going to be the most. Can I put it into words? I do apologize for that. Well, it's a bit complicated to explain it, News. Queen of Cups relates to a long-term activities. So that is what the year is going to emphasize on, you know. For example, the job that you feel a long term for, you know, or the people that you feel that you can spend a long time with them, you know. It's going to be a year where the one-time things, one-night stands, for example, or one-time enterprises are going to be on the second, third 10th gear for you, and you just at some point you're gonna stop concerning yourselves with them and even paying attention to them whatsoever. But for the most part, is gonna be a year where you're gonna feel, literally feel, quite well, in a sense of that you will feel understood from the people that you are surrounding yourselves with, supported, if not physical support, a moral support, and as well trusted, loved. So that is just like a guidance here. Put your attention into the aspects of your life that you see yourself in them long term, and you will not gonna go wrong with that. Veronica, your card, it is the Ace of Cups catalyzed with Two of Wands. So these two cards are saying almost the same story as with News Divine. For you, Veronica, this year is going to emphasize on being satisfied with what you can go for. You know, we do have that state, how can I put it into words? This side of the human nature where no matter how much we have, we always want more. And it comes a point where we just cannot take anymore, but we want it, and it happens that we ruin everything we built thus far. Well, it seems that 2023 is going to emphasize on that, in a sense of that you will not gonna cross that threshold with none of your activities. Instead, you are to embrace the situations as the situations are and make the most out of those situations, and just this will transcend your day-to-day routine into your situations where, especially if those that you are unhappy with, you are going to learn being happy in them. And additionally, the year is going to present you with revival. What I mean, it is that aspect of your life that you are very unhappy with, in fact it's DOA right now, is going to be revived, and the revival, it will be very happy for you. It's just, you will see that you were wrong bailing out on it, giving up on that aspect of your life. Sam, the reading that is going to be for you is relationship goals with a special person. That's what I'm going to tell you. It's a very telegraphed one. So your goals here, we have the Hierophant. Your goals with that special person is to build trust. Okay, you build trust, and the trust is gonna serve as a cup where the love is going to be sustained, for the lack of a better word. No matter how much you love each other, if you do not trust each other, you can never be together, according to the card. And should it happen that your question is directed into you finding a special person, that would be someone that you can trust and someone that can trust you. So that is your goal in relationship. Do not betray the trust. Build trust as much as you can. All right. And thank you, by the way, for your $2 Australian dollars. Thank you, Sam. All right. So moving on, next we do have Mattia. You're welcome, Veronica. Happy helper about what? Thank you, Sam. Uh, Melania, I believe you can definitely order one. I mean, you can go there, and even though they may not have it in a car shop, you can say, I want that model, stick shift. And yeah, you have to wait about a couple of months, but they can deliver. At least that's an option here in Bulgaria. In fact, they're going to be more than happy because the stick shift needs less chips, and we all know the chips are on a short supply these days because of, you know, the geopolitical situation. It's basically, for what I read, it's basically China holds the chips for its own needs and sells them on a designated, you know, customers, and for the rest they're just, you know, not enough in supply. That's great, Sam. Just don't link it here because that's considered an advertisement and we don't do advertisements in the channel. That's great. Keep it going, and you know, eventually it's gonna grow. Right, so Mattia, we shuffle and see about your year. So Mattia, we do have the lovers. The third card for you is going to be the Six of Swords. And the third card, the second one is going to be the Six of Swords. The third one is going to be the Seven of Cups right here, right? So the emphasis for the new year, for the 2023, is how to be more harmonious with what you do in general, especially when it comes to you fulfilling the targets you do have. That's primarily what the year is going to emphasize on, and in a very in a quite a few occasions, in a several occasions, even many occasions, um, the actions that you are gonna take throughout 2023, you will consider heroism because they are gonna go beyond the threshold of your courage. What I mean is that you are going to overcome certain. The word is not exactly fear, but it is a presumptions. Let's put it that way. So you're going to overcome certain presumptions of a failure, and you're actually gonna exert an action that you are afraid of doing because you are to be afraid of failure. And literally throughout the year, you should always, whenever you want to do something, all right, or you are questioning yourself, should I do it or not, you should rather ask yourself that question: is only thinking about the target you have enough to make the target true, or actions are needed? I think that we both know the answer of that, and that will be enough for you to overcome the fear of those thresholds. Another thing about those cards, Mattia, it is that throughout 2023, you basically cannot make the wrong choice. For one or another reason, whichever you decide to do is going to suit you and is going to work for you. And also the year is going to emphasize on you being very practical on top of that. So for the most part, you are to take the things easy, you are to take the things one step at the time, so you avoid kind of like misunderstandings, disappointments, you know, and in generally having to backtrack and fix things that have eluded you, that you have missed because of a rushing, which you are not going to do throughout 2023. All right, moving next, we do have Jasmine. By the way, it's going to be a flawless career and as well relationship, especially if you are, how can I put it into words? You are building or you're leading a certain team for you, Mattia. It's going to be a great year because eventually you will be able to kind of like make people believe in your cause. All right, next one, Jasmine. First one for you, Jasmine, that will be the Fool, followed by the Seven of Cups. And then we do have the Lovers. Those three. So we are talking about here, Jasmine, a tangible. Okay, these are not just only wishful thinkings. Okay, but 2023 is gonna emphasize on the tangible new initiations you can do about yourself and about your life. And initiations in moves that can actually not just only going to produce results, but also are going to happen to be a solution to your concerns, right? So if not anything else, we can consider for you 2023 is going to be a year where you are to liberate yourself from a lot of concerns and troubles. That is the very, very least you can expect from a 2023. Now, you asked earlier on about a successful change into your career, and we do have the Fool card. People get excited, and I believe that an experienced tarot reader would have told you, yeah, I mean, you can have it. The thing about the Fool is that is an entire new beginning that carries on no past, right? So literally, if the Fool comes for a new career, that is a career that you do start right after university, right? Or a career that you do start while you had for a long time no career whatsoever. In your line of question, Death card would have made sense, because Death card is the change through a substitution. Like you change one thing that you see no purpose into anymore with another, one career for another. Anyway, that is just trivia. So with the Fool card being here on the prime, it's just, how can I put it into words? You can consider it as a new beginnings, but in a brand new activities, like activities you didn't have up until this point whatsoever in your life. You may have them back in the days, but that was in the distant past, and you just by that point you literally forgot about them. What activities I cannot say, because they are going to be they will vary. It could be literally anything, but long story short, Jasmine, 2023 is going to be far more carefree year than 2022. Not because it's going to be responsible, but for the reasons I mentioned beforehand. It's just you're not going to have that many concerns and troubles as you do had in 2022, and you're just going to feel free. You're going to feel unshackled, unchanged to do whatever the hell you like, because at the end of the day, that's what this Fool stands for. You are free to do whatever you see possible in front of you, and that will be faced with a lot of optimism, and a lot of people is gonna like that attitude. So it's also gonna be an year where you will put a muse into a lot of individuals around you and prepare yourself to make a lot of friends. That is what the year is going to be about. What, you are offering to shoot them for me? What's the purpose? The editing doesn't take that long, so I don't need a help. Do I have any favorite stock picks? No, I don't. All right, Chandra, you're next. So we do have 6 of Cups for you, Chandra, followed by 10 of Swords. And the final one, that's going to be 3 of Pentacles. So those three cards for you. So in 2023, Chandra, things are not going to be that emergent. That is for a lack of a better word. Okay, if 2022 felt like everything happened in the very last minute, on the edge of the knife, you know, like it was so by the very end, it happened like it felt like a gamble. That's not going to be the case for 2023 with you. 2023, the activities that you are to be involved into, the enterprises, the projects, you know, and the people, you are to have way more joy than you had in 2022, which is not going to press you having to make tough calls or as tough as calls as you made in 2022, right? That's one positive thing. Another one is that 2023 is going to be a year where you will see huge support, partnerships, fruitful discussions and cooperations about things that you do find that worth your while. One thing I need to mention here, it is that should happen the 2023, if you don't have a family right now, you know, and you are single, you don't date anyone, and happen that you do start dating in 2023 here, you need to know that is all your dates or all the people that you are gonna date with throughout 2023 are going to be people that can have a huge contribution in your life in one or another way. It is just whichever one you decide to go forward with, they will have something of a value to give to your life. They're not going to be suckers. They're not going to be leeches, for the lack of a better word. But your affinity and the emphasis is going to be for 2023, it is that throughout the year you're not going to have the necessity to do what you must, but rather you are going to have the freedom to do what you like. And I think that it will be that is a huge trait. That is one of the things everybody should be happy to have in their favor in their life. And with such an energy, I mean, you can make your life beautiful throughout 2023. All right, moving next, Anna. First card for you, Anna, Four of Swords. You're welcome, Chandra. Moving on next, we do have Ten of Pentacles. And the final one is going to be the Four of Pentacles for you, Anna. Those three cards. So 2023 is going to be a rather peaceful year for you, right? You are about to find a lot of answers for yourself, philosophical standpoints about situations that by this point didn't give you peace, in fact disrupt your peace. And it is like, you know, that this is not going to be the grand solution, in a sense of that this is not going to be a resolution to the problem in general, but it's going to be a resolution for you. Just to give you an example, say someone doesn't like you, right, for one or another reason, and that bothers you by that point. Well, in 2023, you are going to come to the philosophical, for example, opinion that if that person doesn't like you, well, then probably they're not supposed to be in your life. And it's kind of like it doesn't solve the issue that this person doesn't like you, because they still don't like you. Just you are not going to care about it. I mean, that person could vanish for all you care. You know what I mean? It's just you're not going to be attached to them in any way anymore. But also 2023, according to these cards, will make a lot of your problems to disappear. Now, that is different from what most of the people up until this point had, which is a resolution. Disappear means that they will have no influence on your life for the duration of 2023, but after that, they can return. That is no different, for example, if you owe a money to a mobster, right? That's a huge problem, isn't it? But it happens that that mobster gets jailed. So they are in the jail and you're not going to be pressed, kind of returning back the money. But one day they are going to get out of jail and they're going to search for their money, right? So that problem will return, just it's not pressing you right now. So it will serve you a huge deal if you do not forget that the problems that are vanishing could return and you preemptively find a solution for them. So once they return, you immediately have the answer for it. It's going to be an year of revisitation. You know, huge questions are going to be labeled on top of what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel cozy. You even may start talking with professional people about that, in a sense of talking with advisors, mentors, therapists, for example, whatever the case, to find the true answer for yourself. And once you do so, after that, your life, which may not happen now in 2023, but that's going to be the result of things which are happening in 2023. So your life will undergo a transformation, which, according to the cards, it's not going to be the transformation that usually the Tower card gives, which is very tumultuous. It's very havocy, you know. This one should be rather peaceful. That you are gonna go. So it's an year for you to put a huge awareness of how you wanna spend your life from now on moving forward. Thank you, Tiona. Thank you so much for your 99-cent super chat support. Stay a little while and you're gonna have a card for the 2023. All right, next, Taco. First card for you, Taco, that will be the Four of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Wands. And the third one, that will be the Chariot. So Taco, 2023 is going to emphasize on your security, and it's going to emphasize on, in generally, how you can ensure a certainty of a future that you wish to have. Okay, that's not just any kind of future, but a future that you right now want to have. And the 2023 is going to be the year where you are going to secure it. All right, you're going to make the very least the foundations. You're going to pave the way of making it happen. What was the third card? The second one, Seven of Wands. So we in between the Four of Pentacles and Seven of Wands, basically what those two cards means, it is the exterior influence. For example, if you are depending on a money from someone, if you are dependent on an approval from someone, if you are dependent on anything from an exterior influence, that dependency is not gonna kind of like go away, but it's not gonna play that big of a role, right? Maybe because you're gonna find a replacement, maybe because you are going to suddenly happen to have a leverage on your side of the field, and now the battle, you know, the struggle for dominance, it's a little bit more equal than it was before. But you're definitely going to start feeling that, you know, the situations in people that had influence on you and that could have swayed you one way or another, now in 2023 they won't be able to do it that easily, if they will be able to do it at all, and there will be a limit to it. But your expectations for 2023, Taco, if you do play your cards right, and if you should not give up, by the way, because here there is a huge condition for you to ensure that future, and the condition is iron will and determination, right? Because at some point, I don't want to scare you here, but at some point it will look hopeless, okay? Like no matter what you do, it's not working out, because the major arcana 7, or the Chariot, is associated with a heroic efforts, mighty efforts that are pretty much putting you to the brink of your limits, to your utter limits. So if you play your cards right, your expectations by the end of the year should be wish fulfillment in regards to ensuring your future, and being proud of thy achievements. It's going to be a great year, and if you are striving for financial security, which is the best strive you can have giving those cards, you're going to have it. Thank you, we. And last one, Tiona, you're going to have a card now for 2023. And the card for you is 9 of Cups. All right, Tiona, 9 of Cups, 2023 obviously is going to be a really happy year. I don't know how is your life right now, but 2023 is going to feel like the universe is literally pouring its grace on you with its lay of hands, okay? But the emphasis on the happiness is going to be that it is short term, unless you do not put an effort to sustain it. That's literally what the card says, okay? So just, you are going to be happy, just don't take that happiness for granted. All right, guys, so that is all for tonight. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you so much for your support and generosity. We are going to see each other Thursday. I'm sorry, it's going to be Thursday, which happens to be 29th of December EST. For those who are living in Europe, that will be Friday 30th of December, 1 a.m. United Kingdom time, Greenwich time. Yeah, I mean, that's going to do it for tonight, and we are to see each other next time. Love you all, guys. Bye.